stress, you can be, I think one of the things that's very important to note about stress is that stress primarily comes from not taking action over something that you can have some control over. So if I find that some particular thing is causing me to have stress, that's a warning flag for me. What it means is there's something that I haven't completely identified, perhaps in my conscious mind, that is bothering me, and I haven't yet taken any action on it. I find as soon as I identify it and make the first phone call or send off the first email message or whatever it is that we're going to do to start to address that situation, even if it's not solved, the mere fact that we're addressing it dramatically reduces any stress that might come from it. So stress comes from ignoring things that you shouldn't be ignoring, I think in large part. So stress doesn't come, people get stress wrong all the time, in my opinion. Stress doesn't come from hard work, for example. You know, you can be working incredibly hard and loving it, and likewise, you can be out of work and incredibly stressed over that. So, and likewise, if you kind of use that as an analogy for what I was just talking about, if you're out of work, but you're going through, a disciplined approach of, a series of job interviews and so on and working to remedy that situation, you're going to be a lot less stressed than if you're just worrying about it and doing nothing.
I'm not just playing around. I'm not just beating the air. I'm not shadow boxing. I'm not just goofing off. Life is too important to waste your life. He says, when I fight to win. I want to win in my marriage. I want to win in my finances. I want to win in my career. I want to win in my spiritual growth. I want to win in my character. I don't fight to place, I fight to win.
The number one thing that's going to change your life, the only thing that will change your life, change your business, change your money, change your relationship, is you must raise your standard. Now I know that sounds boring, stupid, basic, but it's the truth. The only thing that changes our life long term is when we raise our standards. What does that mean? That sounds so boring and dumb. It means that all of us in life have things we want. We don't get what we want, we get what we have to have. Remember I said earlier, we all get what we tolerate in ourselves and other people. But when you're no longer willing to tolerate something, that's when your life changes. The difference in people is their standards, period. The difference in people is their standards, period. And what do I mean by standards? Everyone in the world has a list of things they think they should do. I should lose weight. I should work out. I should spend more time with my kids. I should work harder. I should make more calls. I should. And then you know what? People don't do their shoulds and they get mad at themselves and they what I call should all over themselves. They beat themselves up about it. What changes people is when your should becomes a must. When suddenly the thing you said should happen has to happen. That's when human beings change. It's like if you want to take the island and you're the head of the army and you want to take the island, the most powerful way to take the island is burn the boats. Because if there's no way to go back, it's amazing what happens when it's a must to do something versus a should. That's what makes human beings succeed.
What is it that's going to actually change somebody's life? It's not removing their limiting beliefs. And I know that sounds silly, but it's like if you just put less pressure on the brake in your car, it doesn't mean you're going to speed up. Right? Your foot's still on the brake. If you're always focusing on these things that are limiting you, you're always going to be limited just because your relative weight of importance and duration of your focus and your attention is on these limiting things. And it's time in our culture, just like in our psychology, in our study of psychology, we got to move from mental illness to mental health. We've got to get you to move from your limiting beliefs into something bigger and greater and grand about yourself. We've got to stop you focusing on all the reasons that you're a mouse in life and start focusing on why you're a lion, why you have something within you that's more bold and powerful and profound than you ever even knew. So what we have to do is change what I call your dominant frame of attention and focus. most people's dominant frame, they're given that relative weight of importance to those things that limit them. And I say, you know what, this next year has to be the year for you that you're limitless. That you're gonna go, okay, enough. I mean, how far have you gotten in your life now where you're just constantly beating yourself and berating yourself and worrying about your limits and worrying about all these things of all the reasons that you have to be worried, to be weak, to be less than you are. You know, it's like what Marianne Williamson said so long ago, you're not serving the world by playing small. And you're not serving the world by constantly focusing on your limiting beliefs and trying to remove them. Look, you will always have insecurity. I know that's really motivating, but you're always gonna have it. I work with some of the top professionals in every given field, some of the best athletes in the world, some of the best well-known celebrities, and many of the people who are the best performers in any given industry. And I can tell you, they still have their doubts and their fears. They still have times when they wake up and they're just like, I don't know what to do with myself. That doesn't ever go away, and that's great because it's part of the human condition that also makes us humble, makes us real, makes us check ourselves. And I'm not saying that, we all have to go around being happy optimists all the time. But I will share with you, if you didn't know, optimists are much more capable of changing the world than pessimists are. It's not a guess, it's proven by science.
To me, what's exciting about studying is not that I'm going to get some grades or I'm going to say that, oh, I know some trivial facts. Like I know when the War of 1812 started and why it started, and I know all the causes of this, and I know how the physics of that works. That's not important at all. To me, it's all about understanding life. Life is so fascinating. I want to understand it. To me, this is one of the most important missions that I have as a human being living here, like as a life form. This goes really deep for me. As a life form, this is the most important thing that I'm doing through my short time on this earth, in this universe, is that I'm learning how the universe works. I'm observing it with my senses, and then I'm dissecting it and analyzing with my mind. That's basically the foundation of all study.